Tout le monde, good evening everybody. I'm thrilled that there's so many people here for this amazingly very rare screening. Pour ceux qui ne savent pas, mon nom c'est Philippe Spurrell, fondateur, directeur du Ciné-Club de Montréal, the Film Society. Est-ce qu'il y a des habitués du Ciné-Club ici? Okay, good. Good, we have fans. Alors, what does Film Society do? We present films on 16 and 35 millimeter formats here in the DeSève and also the VA 114 on Crescent and René Lévesque. So we use two cinemas here at Concordia. Aux deux dimanches, on présente des films à l'Université Concordia entre les mois de septembre, début juin. So from September to end of May, beginning of June. We screen films of every description, every era, every variety, including genre stuff like this. Anyway, you can follow us on Facebook and our website. I want to thank Fantasia for inviting us to present this in the retro category. I don't know, is Mitch Davis in the house? Mitch is not here. He should be here. Anyway, a big thank you to Mitch because this is actually his print. So everything you will see screening tonight is exceedingly rare and it's stored in the archives of the Film Society. On est situé, les archives du Ciné-Club est situé dans le sud-ouest de Montréal. So we have like thousands of reels of film in this cool, as in below 20 degree, cement bunker in Villemort. So, and just to give you a sense, because increasingly I actually have to show people what film is. So this is, seriously, it's crazy. Like, this is film, okay? So, just to give you a sense of what's involved, so most films that screen at festivals it's either a file, a digital file that's sent and downloaded and ends up on a hard drive. So imagine to put together this 24-inch gigantic reel of film you're going to see tonight. It's involved about 7 to 8 hours of inspection, cleaning, mounting it all together on one giant reel. So that's what goes into it. Some of the material is faded, but the feature film itself has held up quite well, considering it's from 1976. So, again, you're in for a real treat. Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby. It's kind of a rather oddball sequel to Roman Polanski's 1968 chef-d'oeuvre, broadcast in 1976 as a TV movie. That's why many people maybe have never heard of it. So director Sam Osteen was actually the editor on the original film, and the original cinematographer is also a holdover from the original 1968 film, as is Ruth Gordon. So if you're going to pick one actor from that film, Ruth Gordon, she's amazing. So she's in this film as well. And the cast, very impressive. Ruth Gordon, as I said, Ray Milland, Patty Duke, Broderick Crawford, Donna Mills, Tina Louise, and George Maharis. And these are faces you might recognize from television series and all kinds of other films. So, doing a stellar job in the lead role of Adrian is Nova Scotia's own Stephen McHattie, who has appeared in over... So, who is this man? Who is Stephen McHattie? Well, he has appeared in over 200 TV series episodes and movies, including episodes of, going way back, Kojak, the original Starsky and Hutch, Miami Vice from the glorious 80s, Star Trek, Seinfeld, X-Files. One that really impressed me when I was looking at his filmography was he played the lead in a James Dean biopic. I mean, who doesn't want to look like James Dean, right? I think my mother wants to look like James Dean. So he has also worked with the likes of David Cronenberg, Darren Aronofsky, John Landis, and of course Bruce McDonald. Of course. Screening at Fantasia. Il a gagné un prix Génie pour son rôle dans le film québécois Maurice Richard de Charles Bellamy. So the film The Rocket is another film he did. So, a few surprises tonight. So preceding the feature is something that does not even appear on Stephen McHattie's filmography anywhere. I had to really dig because somewhere his name was misspelled as McChattie for some bizarre reason. But it is a film that won a grand jury prize at Cannes in 1971. A rather violent and disturbing short film entitled Star Spangled Banner from 1970, made at the height of the anti-Vietnam War movement out of the US. So we have what is possibly the only print in existence, who knows? Besides the short, we've added about a dozen little surprises that we hope you'll enjoy. I'm not going to say what it is, but I think you will scream with delight when you see these little things. Anyway, so for me, the most amazing thing about tonight is the fact that the lead actor himself is here. Mesdames et messieurs, Monsieur Stephen McHattie.
Thank you kindly. I've been racking my brain to, what stood out about doing this thing, because like the 60s, if you remember the 70s, you weren't there. I've done the James Dean thing, which got a lot of attention, mostly good, some bad. But it was a very confusing time, and then they offered me Whatever Happened to Rosemary's Baby. And so I thought, I only have 2 feet, so I might as well shoot the other one. And Sam Osteen was the preeminent editor at that time. And so I met with him, and he had a girlfriend, and she was writing an article for Esquire. And she wanted to feature Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro, and me. And it was the new type of actor. Guys who would look like they might punch the girl rather than kiss her. I didn't quite like that, but it's a shot. So you take the cards you're dealt. First day on the set, good friend of mine, David Huffman, who was playing my buddy, he comes up to me and he says, well, what are you going to do with this piece of shit? And I kind of walked away. I was a young actor then. And we, at the end of it, we're looping. He's coming out, I'm going in. En passant, he says, I told you. So I turn around, I'm yelling at him, you didn't fucking help, did you? So, welcome.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, there's something I feel I need to share. It's one of those Fantasia moments. A very surreal thing happened earlier. So there's a filmmaker who made a film called Killer Cuts 3D.
Yep.
Is he in the room?
Yes.
No. Il est là? Okay. So he handed a pair of 3D glasses to the girl behind the candy counter. So she has the 3D glasses on her head, and I happen to be holding in my hands a CD of the Hypnophonics. That was the music you were hearing. It was a Montreal band, a psychobilly band, one of my favorite Montreal bands. So I said, oh, isn't that curious? You're wearing glasses like this. And she says, oh, let me see that. Oh, wait. And she flips it over and says, that's my dad. And then she says, oh, that's my dad too. So anyhow, I just wanted to share that surreal thing. It was just too bizarre. It's still buzzing in my head. I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. Anyhow, alors je vous souhaite bon cinéma en espérant que vous allez rester jusqu'à la fin. And I think you've agreed, Stephen, to stick around for a Q&A, yes? Because we will have questions, believe me. Oh yeah. Alors, enjoy. Bon cinéma.
Rosemary's Catholic, and her million
Stephen McHattie knows we have lots of questions.
are Protestant and Jewish. So
the star of Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby, Stephen McHattie, come on down. Okay, I'm going to first ask you to just comment on
that burning question, I'm sure,
Yeah.
that was on everybody's mind. What happened to Rosemary? There you go. What more do you need? I want to see the grandchild.
I guess we'll open it up to questions sooner than I expected. But
Those commercials were really...
okay, thank you. I thought it would be a good idea. I thought, it would fit, and we took a chance, and I think
It's
people
such a
reacted well.
shock looking back at It looks like 200 years ago.
It is a TV movie, and you do watch commercials. So the only thing I'm going to ask you to comment on first is the short. What do you recall about the making of that strange, violent, disturbing short at the beginning, Star Spangled Banner?
Oh yeah, that was a guy he was a big shot. Commercial.
Flint?
Correct.
Something Gordon Flint?
Roger Flint.
Roger Flint,
Yeah, and it was his first little try at making a narrative film. Narrative, yeah. Yeah, I think it was the very first thing I ever did on film.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's remarkable. Wow.
Yep.
So would you like me to field some questions over here? Should-
I
should we
think
go there?
your questions have been answered.
Thorough. We're open to questions over here. Here you go.
Do you by any chance know when they did that movie? Was that a pilot for a series which will just
No,
go on?
thank God. I bet you're marveling at how brave I am to actually confront you.
Ça a été tourné l'été des Olympiques à Montréal en 76. It's 1976.
So, all your questions.
Sorry, Steve, there's more questions.
First, thanks a lot for being with us tonight. It's a real honor, and you're really correct.
Thank you.
So you said before the movie that one of your friends told you the movie would be horrible, and I was wondering, how did you find the courage to just continue and finish the movie, because you did so. It's quite impressive. So how did you finish the movie and just went to work every day, knowing that it was maybe not the best movie?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of an actor's life. You're not always lucky.
It was a paycheck.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Yeah.
So in Rosemary's Baby, at the end, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I know that most of us have probably seen the movie. There's a lot of emphasis on the eyes of the baby. Was there any discussion about what your character was going to look like and why there wasn't much emphasis on the eyes in this flick?
Haven't a clue. No. Nope.
I have a question over here.
I had a question about the opening short. I was wondering how a young fellow from Nova Scotia got in with the anti-Vietnam crowd that was obviously more prolific and preponderant in the U.S.
Well, I went to school in New York in, when was it? 66. And that was when it was all picking up. And I got drafted. So it woke me up real quick. Yeah, I got out of it. I was going to school there. You were open to be drafted.
Even as a
Canadian.
wow.
So I got, and all my classmates, they were, because it was drama school, they were getting drafted. One guy, we were at a party and he threw himself through a plate glass window. Yeah, it was a hairy time. Yeah, I mean, nobody knew. You just weren't thinking ahead much because you didn't know where you were going to wind up. Yeah, so everybody was, pretty much going to all the demonstrations and going to Washington and all that. Yeah.
Une autre question, en quelque part? Oui. Go ahead there, Larry.
How long did it take you to shoot this one, the TV?
Rosemary's Baby?
No, this baby.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, the feature.
Oh, yeah. I think for TV back then, they had pretty good 24 shooting days, which is good for, now you don't get that much time. Because it was film, the process, between takes was much, you always had a good break between scenes, as they redid the cameras and all that. Different process. Now it's just go, go, go.
No question ici. Go ahead.
No, 28 days. We had 28 days.
28 days later.
How much fun was it driving that Triumph TR7 in that movie?
Oh, that was great.
That's a cool car, right?
I hope you knew that was intentional. I had the ad. I put in
Oh,
the
yeah.
ad. Okay. I was wondering who was going to catch on and how long it would take to catch on. But yeah. That
Good segue.
was he? Go ahead.
Yeah, was Star Spangled Banner influenced by Kent State, or was it prophetic with Kent State to happen soon after? When did Kent State happen in terms of the timeline of?
No, Kent State was before, as I remember. Yep. But, everybody was, the whole anti-war thing was so, it seemed like it was going on every day in Manhattan. Something was going on. They were taking over Columbia. A friend of mine helped take over Columbia. They occupied the buildings there. There was something going on every day.
The university, not the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember walking down 40, walking down 9th Avenue, and I saw a guy with long hair on a bicycle going down, and a big, what do you call it, 2-ton truck caught up with him, and the guy reached his hand out the window and grabbed the guy by the long hair, right? And they just disappeared toward the Hudson River. The guy holding the guy's hair on the bike. It was kind of like that. It was the construction workers against the hippies, and the construction workers against the anti-war movement, and so all that kind of stuff.
Wow. Question? Question?
Do you have any stories about working with Ruth Gordon?
Oh, she was great. Yeah. She spoke at my graduation from the American Academy. Well, let me tell you, kids. It ain't gonna be easy. Yeah, she was lovely.
You see, go ahead.
Are you and the actor who played Peter still friends, or was that fight the last one you guys done?
The guy who played Peter?
Yeah.
No, he got murdered in Balboa Park, going to work at the Old Globe Theater in 1980s. Yeah.
You're full of grim stories.
Well, what do you want?
But go on, continue.
Ain't all happiness.
We're looking for some now. Back there.
What was it like to work with Roderick Crawford, and why is he only in one scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look a little drunk. Yeah, he was a good guy. I've run into him before. Yeah, very sweet guy. Yeah. Very.
ici. Was it?
I just wonder what it's like to be part of this kind of tangential piece of history. Like Rosemary's Baby is one of these classic films, and you get to kind of step in and go, "Did you know there's this other one, and it's got me in it?"
No, I've never seen that before.
Oh yeah, I learned that just before. I couldn't believe it. You've never seen it before.
No.
Yeah.
And now I know why.
No one told you run and go see this movie. Là-bas, ici, oui,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Your career is an impressive one, and I'm just wondering if you could talk about maybe
It's
one
amazing what you can survive.
one of your more memorable experiences working as an actor.
What's that?
I just wonder if you could talk about one of your more memorable experiences working as an actor over the years. Something that stands out.
Boy, yeah. I could. Would I? I don't know. The ones that stand out are the more intense ones, you know. Like I did a little movie way back called Life with Billy, and Pontypool. Yeah. The ones that demand something of you. Yeah.
Another one from Larry over here. Go ahead.
I'm really interested. One thing that was interesting is how your style of acting has changed from from this film to Bodypool, and then to your last film with David
Yeah,
there
I was
your film
thinking
with
about
David, and then your film with the last film which played here. It's a complete different style of acting.
Yeah.
That's taken over the years.
Yeah. I was watching this tonight. I mentioned before this, I just done the James Dean story, and I'm watching this tonight, and I think that was when I realized James Dean shouldn't have grown up to be Rosemary's Baby.
Or wear my makeup.
Or a Marceau's look-alike.
At one point,
So yeah, I kind of realized that you have to, as an actor, you gotta, I had a hard time learning that you have to drop everything. You think you learn certain things, you learn more I did from falling on my face than from doing things that went over well, because you tend to want to hold on to things and you have to drop them. And I'd always wanted to be a character actor, to do it different every time, and this is what happens. You don't. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do with the character. I didn't know. Demonology has no interest for me. I didn't want to go there.
Okay, another question over here.
Well, it's not necessarily a question, but
a statement.
Oh, mostly a statement. But you say you're a character actor. But for me, you are Alice Mason from Watchmen. When I read it now, I see your face, and you did it so well. And for me, Watchmen is one of my all-time greatest. But for me, you are Alice Mason.
Oh, thanks.
That's what I want to say.
We have time for a couple of more questions, if you're okay with that, Stephen. Just a couple of more questions, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just, it seems like a rather unusual experience for the first time that you watch a movie decades later to be in a room full of people who also probably haven't seen it but have heard
Yeah.
it and know it's right. What was that like?
I was thinking of that old TV show, This Is Your Life.
This is your life.
But no, wait a minute. Yeah, very strange. Yeah. Now, I was saying, you know, it looks like it was 200 years ago. I mean, you know, the difference in, you know, the way dialogue is on TV now, and movies, and the way shots are framed, and, you know, so, and the commercials. Oh my God.
Autre question ici, go ahead.
How is it received? Like, for us now?
I don't know, I hid. I pretended I didn't do it.
Matt.
Was this something you had to audition for, or was this a straight?
No.
Was it Who Wants to Do This? You put up your hand.
No, nope. Well, yeah.
Did you read the script before accepting it?
Yeah, that was the problem. Yeah, and then I went to meet the director, and he had his girlfriend with him, and she said, I'm doing an article in Esquire, and that had a big part in winning me over.
Did she write the article?
Did the article happen?
Yeah, I was in about the 50th paragraph. But you know, Samosteen, he was a big time guy. Great editor.
Editor on The Graduate as well?
What?
He edited The Graduate amongst other films
Oh,
that
yeah.
he did. Oh, yeah.
He
Great editor.
did all Mike Nichols.
Yeah.
Good ones.
Really?
Yeah.
One more question, perhaps? Oh, over here. Go ahead.
I mean, as a great editor and the guy who worked on the original, did he actually care about this material?
Well, he cared about having a career as a director. You know, it was back in the day, you know, you'd meet a director then and they'd say, I know this script sucks. We're going to make it better. You know, it was all about getting around this studio, you know, and every director, there was the rebellious 70s, you know. I know the way the studio works. I'm going to make a better film than what's on the page.
If I can say two things that saved the movie, Ruth Gordon and Stephen McHattie.
Yes.
All right. Well, nice talking to you.
Thank you once again to our guests. Thank you all for being here. Thank you.